Hello, let's take a look at the poem Colonization in Reverse by Louise Bennett. Louise Simone Bennett Coverley, or Miss Lou as she was popularly known, is a Jamaican writer and media personality who actively promoted and popularized Jamaican patois. She is hailed as the mother of Jamaican culture for her laudatory effort in celebrating the Jamaican way of life. She wrote and recited her poems in her dialect and published her first collection of poetry titled Dialect Verses in 1942. Jamaica Lubrish, a collection of folklore and poetry, which was published in 1966, is perhaps her best known work. Apart from hosting the BBC radio shows Caribbean Carnival and West Indian Night, she was also famous for her iconic radio monologues known as Miss Lou's Views. She was honored with the Order of Jamaica in 1974 and the Jamaican Order of Merit in 2001. A brief overview of the poem, Colonization in Reverse. The poem is a very humorous take on how the Jamaicans are colonizing England in return. In this new wave of colonialism, the erstwhile colonized are now turning the tables on their old colonizers. There is a reverse colonization, and the balance of power is now slowly shifting. The poetess is immensely delighted at the new scenario and wonders at how the English people will be able to handle the sudden change in status quo. Though the poem is couched in humor, it also depicts the mutable power centers of a post-colonial world. Now we move on to the detailed analysis of the poem. What a joyful news, Miss Matty. I feel like me heart going burst. Jamaica people colonizing England in reverse. By the hundred, by the thousand, from country and from town, by the shipload, by the plainload, Jamaica is England bound. Remember, the poem is written in the Jamaican patois. That is why you have the unique spelling and the pronunciation. So the poem opens with an expression of pure happiness, pure glee. The speaker is overjoyed and says to Miss Matty, who is probably a friend or a relative, that her heart will surely burst as she cannot contain her happiness. The expression, my heart is going to burst, like I feel like me heart going burst, suggests an air of excitement, and though the news is nothing personal, it is evident that the happiness the speaker draws from it is extremely personal, as her heart is going to burst. And then, very dramatically, she drops the good news. Jamaicans are now colonizing England in return. Only a Jamaican will realize the mirth in this statement. They have been colonized for centuries, and now it's their turn to strike back. There's a sense of entitlement in the speaker's proud assertion. Jamaicans are colonizing England now. She says Jamaica people colonizing England in reverse. She's very proud of that. Now look at the next stanza. Just as the colonizers arrived in vast numbers, hundreds and thousands of Jamaicans from all parts of the country, be it urban or rural, all parts of the country are making their way to England. She says, by the hundred, by the thousand. The speaker very humorously points out that they are going by shiploads and plane loads. The image is suggestive of Jamaicans seeing the trip to England as a merry picnic. As far as they are concerned, it's a pleasure trip, and there is no awe or veneration for the colonizer's land. And this irreverence is possible only in a post-colonial world. Temapora to Jamaica. Everybody future plan is forget a big time job and settle in the motherland. What a island, what a people. Man and woman, old and young, just pack them bag and baggage and turn history upside down. So now there is a reverse exodus. The English people once viewed Jamaica as a land of possibilities, and now it's the Jamaicans' turn to explore the opportunities in England. The phrase "dem a pour out" suggests the sheer volume of Jamaicans traveling to England to get a high-profile job. The humor is not just directed at the erstwhile colonial powers, but the colonial mindset where Europe was considered to be the land of plenty. The speaker is also good-humoredly analyzing the Jamaicans' desire to settle in the motherland. And you have to note that the term motherland is used in a very ironic manner. Though the colonized were supposed to be in awe of their mighty motherland, the treatment meted out in return was far from motherly. The colonized were not at all treated in a motherly fashion by the colonial powers. She praises her people for their sense of adventure. Both men and women, old and young, possess an enterprising spirit and they are ready to explore the possibilities offered by the motherland. In their quest to find greener pastures, they are rewriting history. In fact, they are toppling the old construct of the European explorer. They themselves are the New Age explorers now. Just as the colonizers looted their land of its resources, the colonized are now embarking on a new journey to seek new worlds and new futures. Some people don't like travel, but to show them loyalty, them all open up cheap fare to England agency. And week by week shipping off them countrymen like fire, for emigrate and populate the seat of the old empire. The speaker asserts that Jamaicans work in complete harmony with each other. There are some who don't prefer traveling, but they also contribute to the reverse colonization. How? They open up travel agencies that offer cheap rates to go to England. The speaker humorously says that these people are very loyal to the cause of reverse colonization and believe that they too must contribute their share. The sheer volume of Jamaicans traveling to England increase week by week and they are spreading like fire. And here there is also the implied suggestion that the English won't be able to handle this fire, the fire of Jamaicans immigrating to England. Jamaicans are migrating in droves and they are determined to populate the entirety of the seat of the old empire, and that is England. Una see how life is funny. Una see the turnabout. Jamaica live feed box spread out a English people mouth. For when them catch a England and start play them different role, some will settle down to work and some will settle for the dole. The speaker is very amused at the recent developments. She says that life is indeed very funny as it often reverses the present predicament in no time. The English who colonized the Jamaicans are now scared of the Jamaicans who are getting richer and richer. They have taken the bread out of the mouths of the English people, and this is the irony of fate. The English now have to watch out for the Jamaicans. Once they reach England, the Jamaicans have a lot of opportunities before them. They can either choose to work or they can settle down with their dole. Dole is the benefit paid by the government to the unemployed. So either way, the Jamaicans are happy. This is indeed quite a change as the Jamaicans didn't have this luxury a few decades earlier when they were still under the colonial rule. Now they have the freedom to choose, and this is indeed a very wonderful development. Jane said the dole is not too bad because they paying she £2 a week for seek a job that suit her dignity. Me say Jane will never find work at the rate how she da look, for all day she stay upon and farm couch and read love story book. The speaker now introduces Jane, a relative, or maybe a friend. And Jane's Aunt Fan. Jane has given her first-hand information about the dole. Jane has given the speaker very reliable information on how the dole system works. Jane says that it is very comfortable to live on the dole. She's paid £2 a week so that she can look for a job that will suit her. Since she has the dole, she's not pressurized to settle for any menial job that comes her way. Again, she's offered the freedom of choice. And this is very unique for the Jamaicans, as they were forced to offer their labor for free or maybe for a pittance when they were colonized by the English. Now that they are no longer colonized, they have the freedom to wait for a job. The speaker believes that Jane might never look for a job as she is quite comfortable with the dole that she is receiving now. She doesn't take any great effort to look for a job. In fact, she's relaxing on Aunt Fawn's couch with her romances. Love story book here refers to romances. This example is also highly ironical, as reading romances were once associated with a life of privilege. The English ladies had that luxury, but the women of the colonies had to spend a life of hard labor. Therefore, Jane's present situation is one that suits her really well. She's happy with the dole that she's getting, she's happy with the choice that she has been given, and she's happy with all the romance novels that she can read. What a devilment the England! Them face war and brave the worst, but I'm wondering how them gwine stand colonizing in reverse. Bennett saves the best for the last, and the concluding stanza conveys a very hilarious image. She says that the English people are now genuinely perplexed. They are so bewildered that they cannot understand how they can reverse the situation. They have faced wars and they might have braved a lot of misfortunes, but they are now genuinely confounded as to how they will confront this reverse colonization. The tables are turned, and the English now realize that the colonial days are long gone, and they find themselves in a very precarious situation, as the former colonized people have now claimed England as their own. Now, where will the English go? What will they do? These are the questions that the poem leaves open. So that's all for now. Thank you.